All of that and more, 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I want to say something real quickly about Mr. Bill Maher. Bill Maher is the host of the Bill Maher Show on HBO. It's been on for a number of years. And he recently criticized the playwright of the play Hamilton, who made Alexander Hamilton a black male and made the founding fathers various colors and both genders. The guy was casting for a movie and he got criticized because the movie was not sufficiently, the cast was not sufficiently racially diverse. And here's what Bill Maher said.
I was reading also about Lin-Manuel Miranda this week. He of Hamilton fame and, won a Pulitzer Prize for it. He's got a new musical, The Heights, which is about Washington Heights. I know that neighborhood. My father parked in it every day of his life, going to New York, coming over from New Jersey, and then taking the subway down to Midtown. And he wrote the music and lyrics. His parents are Puerto Rican, came to this country from Puerto Rico. The book is by someone who's half Puerto Rican. It got 96% Rotten Tomatoes. People loved it. Great reviews, for which he has apologized profusely. Why? Well, there's Latinx performers, one black lead, but no Afro-Latinx. The committee that makes note of everyone's skin tone discovered this, and then Lin-Manuel Miranda had to say, I'm truly sorry. I'm learning from the feedback. I thank you for raising it, and I'm listening. I promise to do better in my future projects. This is what I was talking about with Nikki. Please stop the apologizing. You're the guy who made the founding fathers black and Hispanic. I don't think you have to apologize to Twitter. For sake. This is why people hate Democrats. It's cringy. I mean, I didn't read the criticisms of this because I don't think they're worthy to read. I just read that was his reaction. Obviously, he felt it was important enough for him to make this apology. Do I think he really thinks he should apologize? I don't. He just wants to avoid the news cycle. I don't blame him. I understand this. But at some point, people are going to have to stand up to these bullies, because that's what it is. It's just bullying. It's, I can make you crawl like a dog, and I enjoy it. I mean, he's a Latino making a Latino movie with a Latino cast. Not good enough. Nothing is ever good enough for these people. They're like children. We don't raise our children right, and it's reflected in the media. No one ever tells their children, shut the up, sit down, listen to your elders, stop.
Now, to that MSNB hee-haws, Tiffany Cross had a couple things to say.
Maher has been whack for a long time. From his makeout session with the blackface expert, Megyn Kelly, to his infamous use of the N-word on his show, for which he later apologized, and his continual, mostly white weekly panels where he sings sob songs to them about the perils of the shrinking demographic and chides anyone who falls even slightly outside of his myopic, privileged view. Anybody find it interesting that this quote-unquote liberal ally is sounding a lot like a moderate Fox News contributor? Bill Maher, you do not get to tell people of color what they should or should not be offended by. Stay in your lane, Slim. Try that instead of standing on your alabaster perch every week to crap on other people's lived experience while providing a safe haven for well-established white supremacists. Because I gotta tell you, this old angry white man act is so played. The truth is, what's happening now is an evolution, and you are fighting for your power and privilege to not become fossilized while basking in the rays of your own non-existent cleverness and comedy bits circa 3 decades ago. And quite frankly, it's just offensive at this point. The country, like it or not, is changing in real time. And sadly, fake time with Bill Maher is not.
Wow. Where do you start? Now, you remember when Bill Maher used the N-word jokingly? I thought it was funny. And what happened?
I knew you was going to up sooner or later. I did.
Got confronted by his buddies. Did anybody at all, any of his numerous black buddies, he's so proud of his affection for the black community, any of his black buddies say, wait a second, Bill, come on. We talk like that all the time around Bill. Bill didn't mean anything. Did anybody say that? No.
I knew you was going to up sooner or later. I did.
And Bill, where are all your black buddies after this black host on MSNBC basically called you old and white and irrelevant? Where are your black buddies? Bill Maher has always thought of himself as hyper woke. Understands the black community more than almost anybody else. Use the word, they all threw him under the bus. This host trashes him as old and white and irrelevant. And if anybody in the black rap community and all these other people he hangs around with said anything at all on his behalf, I didn't hear it. Did you? Now, AOC says that the headlines are really nothing more than hysteria about crime being up. Tell that to this Oakland police chief, LaRonnie Armstrong, happens to be black.
Saturday night, I went out to a scene of a young man that lost his life. And a lady yelled out the window, do something about it. I'll start off today by saying that I'm challenged by the decisions that were made on Thursday around the budget for the city of Oakland, particularly for the Oakland Police Department. But today we find ourselves in a crisis. We find ourselves reeling from a weekend of violence where we've seen 4 homicides over a 3-day period. It now has us currently at 65 homicides for the year. It's a 90% increase compared to last year. Our shootings are up over 70% this year. Our robberies are up 11% this year. It's been 1,300 robberies in this city already this year. Our carjackings are up nearly 88%. So we see clearly that crime is out of control in the city of Oakland, and our response was for less police resources. I want to address a comment that was made by one of our city leaders during these budget meetings. It was referred to as a bump in the road, a speed bump, that we would go through a period where there would be speed bumps and there would be challenges and things may not go right, but we would be okay. Well, for me, those speed bumps are 65 lives so far this year. Victims who have suffered at the hands of violence, whether it's shootings, robberies, carjackings, sexual assaults. All of these crimes are not speed bumps. These are people. Far too often in these meetings, we are talking about numbers. We are talking about money and cost. I don't know what the cost of a life is, but I know not having resources makes our city less safe. It concerns me that we would ever consider that to be a bump in the road.
We come back. Growing anger on the part of Americans across party lines about the crisis on the border. I'm Larry Elder.